Teröristlerle aramızda durmayın.
We have been telling our allies, do not stand between terrorists, murderers, and us. We won't be responsible for the undesirable consequences. Put down your flags in the terror group's bases so that we won't have to deliver them to you. The Turkish armed forces will solve the issue of Manbij and Afrin as soon as possible. The operation may begin at any given time, and then we will continue on to other parts until we clear 30,000 terrorists. Not a single one is left standing on our borders.
Let's cross live now to our Turkey political correspondent, Andrew Hopkins, who is in Ankara for us. Hi, Andrew. Just help us understand how seriously this dispute now between the U.S. and Turkey is really escalating.
Yeah, I think it's getting quite serious now. There are potential for them to be on a collision course at the moment with this initiative by the United States to try and create a border force of 30,000 people, mainly using people from the Syrian Democratic Force, an army which is sort of operating inside Syria, which is mainly made up of the PYD, the YPG, a group which is regarded by Turkey as the Syrian branch of the terrorist group, the PKK, which operates inside Turkey itself. We've already seen from last week the summoning of the US Chargé d'Affaires here in Ankara to the Foreign Ministry here to protest about this particular border force. But I think the number that has come out just in the last 24 hours is proving to be a huge surprise, that it's going to be 30,000 people involved in this border guard force. We heard in the speech from the Turkish president that he was referring to this as a terrorist army. He said that although Turkey and the US were allies through the NATO alliance, that they would usually speak to each other, take their views into account. But on this particular issue, the Turkish government wouldn't be afraid to try and stop this particular initiative in its tracks.
So, Andrew, does Turkey feel at least somewhat emboldened now, knowing that Russia, Iran, and even Syria are so firmly on its side in this respect?
In this respect, there may be some help, some support from Russia. It's difficult to imagine that Turkey has been preparing this operation to go into Afrin without actually having talking to at least Russia and Iran, because they have been working together for quite some time through the Astana talks. They worked together to set up these de-escalation zones inside Syria, which have been operating in places like Idlib and eastern Ghouta near Damascus. But we've also heard today from the Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov. He's also got some concerns about this US scheme to create these border guards, which he says could create a partition inside Syria, a separate state, which is something that Turkey has said it will not tolerate, the PYD, YPG controlling Afrin and also a couple of other areas further east along the border, Euphrates and Jazeera as well, something that for a number of years now Turkey has said it won't tolerate, and it looks like now it's finally going to go into Afrin and take action there.
Okay, Andrew Hopkins joining us live there from Ankara. Thanks for that.